Howdy YouTube, Darlington Farm here. Well, I got some tool porn for you here, but that's not the purpose of this video. I am getting ready to pack up, well actually rather I'm in the process of packing up to do a fairly lengthy food grade stainless steel job somewhere in the western United States at a egg cracking facility. We're installing a new machine there. Basically doing the whole shebang from moving the machine in, doing conduit, doing piping, doing water lines, doing steam lines, doing the whole deal. Figured I'd take you guys and show you what all I am packing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to actually do any videos there. But this kind of gives you an idea of what you need to get your foot in the door. Now I still do not have a George Fisher saw or any of the other specialty pipe saws. Those are really expensive. Those are $3,000–4,000 bucks used. I'm working with some people that already have them, so I can just bum them basically. So, good old tri-stand. You're definitely going to need one of these if you are doing this thing. This one I have not taped up yet to keep the keep the carbon steel from intermingling with the stainless steel. I'm just going to put some duct tape over this. Get away with this as long as you're careful. And my tri-stands over here, or not tri-stands, jack stands over here. I'm just going to put some tape on those, but I had to paint them, basically, make sure there's no visible rust or anything on them, or apparently they'll complain about that. And so yeah, hit them with a little spray paint, cleaned them up, and I'm taking the Trailblazer. Probably will not end up using, or will not even end up needing this guy except for a few lines that need to be run outside. I have been using this guy, really like it. I'm up to about 18 hours on it now, and awesome. Super lightweight, small cords, basically one long heavy cord. I'm going to grab a couple more of these guys, I just haven't rounded them up yet. Splitters and then some smaller cords. I'm taking one job box, and I'm going to take this off the truck when I get there, stash all my stuff in it. I'm still leaving my normal stick leads and stuff in here. This company tends to end up with more stuff they want you to do when you show up with a welder, so I'm just leaving all this stuff in here just in case. And I'm taking, you know, complement of welding rods and all. Yeah, let me go inside here and show you what all I'm taking as far as hand tools. I'm not taking the cart for my Trailblazer. I figure I'll just borrow a forklift and move it inside whenever we go there and steal their propane bottles if I need more than one. I picked up a Pelican case here to go along with that job box out there, and I actually ordered some more, but they're not going to be in until after I leave, which kind of sucks. Starting off here, I'm taking very minimal consumables because I'm working as a sub, and the parent company there provides, you know, all that stuff. So I just have a few odds and ends just in case we don't get some in there for a day or two. These gloves here I really like. They're cheap, especially in a food grade deal like this where everything has to be clean. When they get dirty, you just toss them, and you can get a whole pack like that for about $8 at Home Depot. I'm taking these Tillman gloves. Actually, I probably won't take these because they're kind of dirty, but I really like these Tillman gloves because I have long arms, and the guy I'm working with is kind of short, so he just used regular cheap work gloves, but I need the gauntlets there, otherwise I get sunburnt on my wrists, which really sucks. What else? I like these Ranch Works gloves for just general purpose stuff when we're not welding. Taking a couple of respirators, because every now and then you'll have to cut or drill concrete or fiberglass or something like that. And my Jackson hood here, the active lens in it died on my last job down there, so I just have a passive lens, gold lens in it, which this is kind of handy because it has that big window, but it's kind of heavy, so I don't really like it for all the, or you know, use every day. And the good old brain bucket here, this guy has kind of become my go-to hood. My other one, I have an auto darkening lens in and a flip front, but I prefer for low amperage TIG. Even my super expensive Miller hood, which I am going to take over here, that, you know, Miller Elite, whatever, their high-end hood there, on real low amperage TIG, it does not always reliably darken. So I just like this, yeah. Anyway, just like the old style one there. The guy I'm working with uses the older Millers with just a manual lens in it. Face shield, I'm really big on using those guys. I would like to keep my face when I'm using a zip disc or anything like that. And we go over here. We got the whole lot of crap. I keep little just miscellaneous shit in here. Some soapstones, string, plumb bob, just, you know, miscellaneous crap like that. Tape measure, spare TIG torch, little flange wizard deal, drill bits, some spare earplugs, stuff like that in this box. Just kind of keeps it all organized. I bought this for the last one and ended up looking at it once or twice and finding one or two things in it. I don't know if this is actually useful or not, but I read on Welding Web where a couple people said those are actually useful. But anyway, yeah, so we got some lenses here. Now this is all for a project that's going to take about a month. I'm probably going to be there for a month solid, so I probably wouldn't pack this much if it was just for a shorter term job or that was not out in the middle of nowhere. But seriously, this place is in the middle of nowhere. The nearest Walmart is an hour's drive away. The nearest town is half an hour, 45 minutes away. So it kind of gives you an idea where it is. Anyway, so we got a portaband here. I picked up a cordless one just for this and some future jobs because my other one is super heavy. This one is still kind of heavy, but it is nowhere near as heavy as my old plug-in one. And then I've got two of the fuel grinders here. I've got one that has the grip switch, and then I actually like these if I'm doing grinding better, the toggle on the back. But I kind of like having one of each. One of the work light or search lights, really like this guy. I don't know if I'm going to end up needing it or not, but that last job I was on, I had to get down inside a vessel and my flashlight died, so I kind of decided to pick up one of those. These hacksaws, I picked this one up. The guy I'm working with has one of these, and it's super handy. I never really would have thought to buy one of those, except for I really liked the one he had. Now for polishing the stainless, use these 6-inch, or no, excuse me, these are 8-inch Scotch-Brite wheels, and they cannot be run on a full-speed grinder, so you need either a slow speed, like this old Dewalt cutoff tool is a fairly slow speed, or I've got a Makita here. This variable speed. This Makita is the 6-inch one, and it just barely goes slow enough for these guys when they're full size. So bear that in mind. The guy I'm working with has a Metabo that I really like that I probably should have bought. Charger, job radio, spare batteries for the job radio, my Dewalt stuff. I would really like to cut down to one system. However, I really like this Dewalt Laser here. Let me flick it on for you here. I've got a rotary one, but this one is just slick. You can flick it on and it's green. Actually, no, I'm not going to flick it on because those will fry the sensor on my camera here. Anyway, it's one of the green ones. It is super, super bright and easy to see, and it's really compact and for what it is. And it runs off the 12-volt batteries. Dual flow meter. This is really slick. The guy I'm working with down there actually doesn't have one of these. He just has the Y's on his, but if you're welding and purging at the same time, it seems like you have to rip on this guy, and it doesn't always give you a decent purge. So this dual flow meter works pretty well. And then up until the last gig there, I had just been using the normal shielding gas hoses like this, but he and a lot of the other people I noticed have just airline fittings on theirs, and it's super handy. I can just, you know, borrow a regular air hose if I need to go away from my tank up in a lift or something. Ground cable, I'm taking a stick lead just in case, because, you know, I'm like the person that does everything. Ground cable, I'm taking the scratch start setup for my Trailblazer because we've got one weld to make up high outside, and then I'm taking the 220 cord for it just in case. I also am not taking my Multimatic over there, which I used on the last gig. I picked up a MaxStar, which is basically a little tiny widget box. It's like 13 pounds. It's way smaller than that guy that is just meant for this type thing, like 110 volts, 1/8 inch or 3/32 electrode, or lift arc TIG, which I got the LHT, which is a lift arc TIG version. I debated getting the one that has high frequency start, but it's about another 800 bucks, and I figured if I really need that, I can just take my Dynasty along. So let me go around the table here. I'm taking, at the very least, my little hammer drill. I don't know if I'm going to take more than that. You know, the guys I'm working with down there, like, I think have, you know, more, but I hate borrowing tools, so I may end up taking more than that. Taking a various assortment of gas cups here. I'm taking my whole setup there. I'm taking a 17 stubby, and then I'm also taking a number 9 Like I said, the guys I'm working with all run number 9s, but I tend to be the one that gets, you know, not gets stuck with everything else, but tends to be like, oh yeah, I'll do that, no problem. I've been there, done that. So I'm taking a 17 along where you can get a lot more amperage out of it. The number 9s, I don't know what they're rated at, but you know, they get hot if you run 50 amps after a while, so the 17s will hang out a lot longer doing that, so I'm taking both torches. I'll do a video when my MaxStar actually shows up. It should be here tomorrow. But yeah, there's my short list so far. I'm just taking these small hoses I had left over from using my brad nailer or air nailers, and then of course a hammer. And then on the truck, you know, I've got a sledgehammer and other stuff. But crescent wrench, I'll probably take a few more tools and odds and ends like that. And then I picked up this Dewalt Laser measuring deal. Guy I'm working with has a Bosch, which I really liked, except for it reads in 64ths for some reason, and this one reads in, oh no, this one reads in 16ths. His reads in I think his reads in 30 seconds, and it was just kind of pain in the ass to convert back and forth because I don't have a tape measure that had 30 seconds on it. So I picked up the Dewalt here because it just measures in 16ths. Let's see, some hacksaw blades, or not hacksaw, but Sawzall blades, spare 18 tooth, porta band blades, and then I'm taking my usual assortment of levels here, and then this old Porter cable one is a laser as well, so that's is kind of handy if you're shooting across a room with a straight line. And yeah, I gotta put these exhaust liner ports, or exhaust port liners, on my Trailblazer here, and I'll take some video of that. I noticed that when I was changing the muffler, the port liners were pretty much gone. So anyway, yeah, that is what I am up to so far, and if anybody else has any suggestions that does this kind of work, I would appreciate it. Also, oh yeah, sketch pad, calculator, and you know, just stuff like that for drawing things out and that type of thing. So anyway, yeah, now I got to fit all this stuff in that Pelican case in my job box. So I got to get back to work here. I hope everybody found this interesting, and if anybody has any other suggestions and you do this type of work, please don't drop me a line down there. Anyway, I'm Darlington Farm. Thank you for watching. I've rambled on long enough. I hope everybody has a good weekend, and I will try and get some videos up while I'm on the road.